ever walked into a place and just felt like right away you're at a crossroads?
Yeah, I know the feeling.
That's the inn of the welcome wench for you.
Absolutely.
Hommlet.
Exactly.
This place, it's more than just an inn. It's practically like woven into the history of the town,
Oh, yeah.
especially with that whole, looming presence of the Temple of Elemental Evil nearby.
Yeah.
So today we are cracking open the secrets of this iconic location, the Inn of the Welcome Wench.
What I think is really interesting is how the inn isn't just a backdrop.
Right.
It's almost like a character itself. And we're lucky enough to have these really detailed profiles on like the key players in the village and how they all kind of interact.
Yeah.
It's like we're peeking into the dungeon master's notes,
Oh, I love a good peek behind the curtain. So, okay, first impressions. Imagine you walk into the Welcome Wench and you're greeted by Ostler Gundigoot. He's the proprietor.
Right.
Seems like your typical, sturdy innkeeper.
Yeah.
Runs a tight ship, right?
Yeah, except Gundigoot is also the sergeant of the Hommlet militia.
Oh, wow.
So talk about a man with his finger on the pulse of the town.
Oh, no. Okay. Yeah.
And he runs the inn with his wife, Gloria.
Okay.
And their two daughters, Vesta and Amberjill.
Okay.
It's a real family affair, but there's a whisper, there's a rumor of a hidden stash of treasure somewhere in the inn.
Really?
And let's not forget those stories about hidden rooms.
Secret stash, hidden rooms. Sounds like Gundigoot might have a few stories of his own.
Right.
But let's not get sidetracked just yet. Tell me more about these intriguing characters who are currently staying at the inn.
Well, picture this.
Okay.
You're sitting at the bar, right?
Yeah.
And you overhear this charismatic fellow calling himself Fernok of Ferd, treasure hunter extraordinaire.
Okay.
Doesn't that just make you want to know more?
Treasure hunter extraordinaire. It does have a ring to it.
Right.
Okay.
So let's just say Fernok's definition of treasure hunting might involve bypassing certain laws and ethical boundaries, let's say.
Uh-oh.
Our sources suggest he's a skilled cheat and a thief.
Wow.
And his eyes are on the prizes, especially any magical items.
Of course.
Rumored to be hidden in the nearby moat house.
Right. Everybody's got their eye on that.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got a charming rogue with his sights set on treasure. What could go wrong?
Yeah.
And speaking of the moat house, it seems like everyone at the inn has it on their mind. There's Zert, the mercenary,
Right.
nursing his ale with a rather impressive battle axe resting against the table. I hear there's an almost magical glow about it.
Yeah.
What's his story?
Now, a magical battle axe is definitely intriguing.
Yeah.
But it's not even the most interesting thing about Zert.
Really, what?
See, he's cultivated this image of, simple caravan guard, rough around the edges, but it's a clever facade.
Okay.
Zert is a spy
What?
in the employ of the Temple of Elemental Evil.
Hold on, a spy right under everyone's noses at the inn. That seemingly harmless mercenary is working for those fanatics.
It's the one and the same.
Wow. What's his game? Is he just gathering intel, or is he planning something a little more, I don't know, sinister?
Knowing the temple and their past actions, Zolt could be there to sabotage any potential threats to their operations,
Okay.
maybe eliminate rivals,
Oh.
or even manipulate adventurers into furthering the temple's goals.
Oh, wow.
His presence adds a whole new layer of danger to the mix, especially for anyone heading to that moat house.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, is everyone so fixated on the potential treasure that they're blind to the threats right in front of them?
Yeah, that's a good question. You're right. We can't underestimate the danger that Zert poses. And speaking of underestimating, what about Spugnoy, the apprentice mage we mentioned earlier? He seems a bit too eager to get his hands on some powerful spells.
Yeah.
What's his story?
Spignoy, yeah. He might seem like an eager beaver, but there's more to him than just youthful enthusiasm.
Okay.
He's carrying a secret.
Oh.
A mistake from his past back in Stalmar.
Okay.
Think of it as a disagreement with the city guard.
Okay.
A misunderstanding that forced him to leave town in a hurry.
Okay.
Now he's looking for those wizard scrolls to, shall we say, even the odds.
So he's not just after knowledge then. He's seeking power. That's a dangerous combination, especially if he's desperate. You know what they say? Desperate people do desperate things. And with the moat house being this potential gold mine of magical goodies, I wouldn't be surprised if Spugnoy cuts a few corners to get what he wants.
Yeah, and he's not the only one with an agenda. Remember Turuko, the Baklunish monk, and his imposing companion, Cobort.
Right, Turuko. He seemed a little too interested in the comings and goings of the other patrons, yeah.
Baklunish, by the way, refers to a region far to the southeast, known for its harsh deserts and warrior traditions.
Interesting, okay.
Yeah.
So what's his angle?
While most associate monks with peace and tranquility,
Right.
Turuko craves something different. Power.
Okay.
He's got a plan brewing, one that involves exploiting the ambition of others.
Okay.
He and Cobort, they're not looking for friends at the Welcome Wench.
Right.
They're sizing up their marks.
Wait, are you saying they're planning on robbing the other adventurers? That's cold, even for a power-hungry monk.
Exactly. Think about it. What better time to strike than when a group of adventurers return from a dungeon crawl, exhausted, wounded, but hopefully laden with treasure?
But
Turuko's playing a long game, preying on the greed and ambition of others. It's a stark reminder that danger doesn't always lurk in dungeons. Sometimes it sits right beside you, wearing a friendly smile and offering to buy you a drink.
yeah, you never know. So we've got a cheat, a spy, a runaway mage with something to prove,
Yeah.
and a monk who's anything but peaceful.
It's a recipe for disaster.
Sounds like the real danger at the inn of the Welcome Wench isn't the ale, it's the company you keep.
You got it.
And don't forget, all of this is happening against a backdrop of rising tensions in and around Hommlet.
Right.
You mentioned that Gundigoot was concerned about the increase in bandit activity.
Yeah, those aren't just isolated incidents. Those are a symptom of a much larger problem.
Right, and then there's that new entertainment hub in the nearby town of Nig's Rest.
Oh, yeah.
Seems like innocent fun, but you mentioned that it's cutting into the Welcome Wench's profits.
Exactly. That economic rivalry might seem kind of trivial compared to, a band of roving bandits or a lurking temple agent, but it adds another layer of stress to the situation.
Right.
People under pressure, they're more likely to make risky decisions to trust the wrong person.
Yeah.
To let their guard down.
It's like a powder keg waiting to explode, and everyone at the inn is holding a lit match.
Pretty much.
So we've got these individual agendas simmering away. Fernok's greed, Xert's secret mission, Spugnoy's desperation, Turuko's lust for power.
It's a lot.
All happening while Hommlet itself is teetering on the edge.
On the brink.
It makes that seemingly simple inn feel like the eye of the storm.
Precisely. And that's what makes the Welcome Wench so fascinating. It's not just a place to rest your head.
Right.
It's a microcosm of the larger forces at play in the world. It's a reminder that even in a fantasy world, the personal and the political are always intertwined.
This has been an eye-opener. It really makes you think twice about trusting that friendly face at the bar.
Right.
Or dismissing seemingly insignificant details.
Absolutely.
What's your final takeaway from all of this?
Yeah.
What should our listener be most wary of when navigating a place like the Welcome Wench?
I think the key takeaway here is awareness. Pay attention to those subtle cues, the whispers, the tensions that simmer beneath the surface. Who's watching a little too closely? Who seems a bit too eager to befriend the well-armed adventurers?
Right.
Trust your gut and remember, information is power. The more you understand about the players and the playing field, the better your chances of survival.
And sometimes the most unassuming characters have the most to offer.
Oh, absolutely.
Remember Gundigoot?
Right.
Our innkeeper?
Yeah.
He might seem like a simple innkeeper,
Yeah.
but he's also the town's militia sergeant.
That's right.
He sees and hears everything within those walls.
He does.
Maybe, just maybe, he holds the key to navigating this tangled web of intrigue at the inn of the Welcome Wench.
That's something to think about.
It really is. This has been a deep dive indeed.
It has.
Full of twists, turns, and more than a few reasons to keep your hand on your dagger and your wits about you. Until next time, happy adventuring.